So, this is my first what if and my first video. Now, please forgive me if this video is low quality, but you know, don't kill me. So, and also I would like it really if you subscribed and left a like. It really will help out the channel a lot. Now, let's get into the video. So, Deku's walking home from school, and then he's attacked by a sludge villain. But instead of it being a sludge villain, it's actually venom. Now, in this story, we're gonna say that people know about venom. It's gonna make a lot more sense to you at the end of this, so cope with me. After Deku's being attacked, All Might comes in. The time All Might comes, Venom's already taken over Deku, but Deku doesn't know yet. So then All Might decides, well, since this kid's safe, I guess he doesn't really need his help, so it's okay. So I guess he can leave. But Deku grabs onto All Might's leg, and then that's when it happens. All Might's trying to kick Deku off, but Deku's like, if you kick me off, I'll die. So they decide to, go somewhere else and land safely. Deku asks the same question: can he be a hero without a quirk? All Might appears in his skinny form. Deku wondering if All Might this is an imposter, but no, it really is an imposter. That's actually All Might, and All Might tells him he can't be a hero without a quirk. So that leaves Deku very heartbroken, and then while he's trying to walk back home, or when he's trying to walk back home, he notices a fire. He goes and he sees it. It's actual. Now this really is the sludge villain. Deku doesn't really understand. Deku sees a kid being taken over by the sludge villain. He thinks he should go help him, but it turns out that's not any kid. That's Bakugo. So he runs over there before he even knows it. He's trying to save Bakugo from the evil villain. Although it's not working, his Deku's hand turns black. His eyes turn pure white, and then he tears the symbiot right off of Bakugo. But this is all in Deku's head. That didn't really happen. So his hand did turn black and his eyes did turn white. So he's pulling off large chunks of the sludge villain, actually saving Bakugo. Although Bakugo has no time to notice this because, well, he's basically being molested by the giant sludge villain. But it doesn't matter, because All Might swoops in, and he tries to save Bakugo, and he actually does. So I don't really. I'm doing a video. So Venom says, Deku hears a voice in his head while the heroes are telling him that he shouldn't have been out there. They're telling him he shouldn't have been out there. He hears a voice in his head saying, "We are Venom." He walks back home, but this time, All Might's not able to catch up to him. And then he walks home, kind of disappointed. But then this is where Venom is really taking over Deku right now. Deku's head's hurting, and he goes to the fridge and he eats everything. Then he goes into the garbage and then eats everything inside the garbage. It's just, he's eating everything he sees. He sees a fly right past him, he grabs it, and then he eats that. Deku's mom is very disturbed and worried about Deku. Deku's wondering what's going on with him, and he passes out. He wakes up, and he's on top of a building. But this is where Venom's taking over. He looks exactly like Venom. Because he is. He looks into the mirror. I mean, not a mirror. He looks onto glass because he's on a glass building. And he sees himself. But when he looks at his hands, he sees Venom's hands. And then Venom breaks the glass and he jumps inside the glass building. He starts tearing up everything. And then he goes up patrolling. And then he starts watching out for villains. And at night. Now this is where I'm taking some liberties with the story. Now right now, he sees two villains. Shigaraki and All for One. He goes over there and and he sees Shigaraki and All for One. Shigaraki tries to put his hands on Venom, but it doesn't work. And instead, Venom grabs Shigaraki, trying to devour him, but then gets hurt by All for One. He doesn't actually get killed or anything. All for One puts his fingers in those. He tries to steal the quirk of Venom, because Venom looks like he's a Namu, and well, that doesn't work so well. It looks like so. Then he basically grabs All for One's hand and rips it off, eating it. And this is really hurting All for, which really obviously hurts All for One, so they retreat. Deku Deku wakes up. He's in his bed, and he had a weird dream, like he was someone else, something else. But then he realizes he's gonna be late for the exams to get into UA, so he goes there. And it's like he can't control his body. He's destroying all the bots. But before he went to the exams, he went to school first. And just to let you know, I forgot to tell you this part. At school, he went to school. Bakugo was making fun of him, like all the other kids, calling him quirkless. He says he's not quirkless. Bakugo doesn't believe him. He tells him to prove it, and Deku basically destroys his wall. And by doing that, like, everyone notices he has a quirk. Bakugo's like, when did you develop your quirk? And then Deku says, I don't know. And then Baku's like, whatever. And he's like, I'm still stronger than you, and like, you'll never be able to beat me. And then all the kids basically start worshipping him, and this really triggers something in Deku. And Deku yells out at the class, calling calling them all idiots and saying that they're a bunch of selfish jerks, and that they only like him because he has a quirk now, and that none of them are worthy enough to be a hero, and that they shouldn't have made fun of them. And then Bakugo stops Deku by saying, them? He's like, yeah, because we have a quirk. And then Bakugo is kind of weirded out by this. He's like, you have a quirk. You have a quirk, not we. And he was like, no, we are Venom. This leaves the class kind of scared. And then we go back to the part where the exam. He's breaking all the bots. He has a lot of points. And then he notices Uraraka. Now just letting you know, Deku isn't as nervous as he was before. So he didn't like fall down earlier. So this is like the first time he meets Uraraka. And the reason why he wasn't as nervous is because he kind of has a quirk now. And he just like told off like almost everyone. And plus, even if he did get nervous and try to faint, I'm pretty sure Venom would have stopped him from doing that. So Venom turns into a giant symbiot creature, jumps in the air, and smashes the bot. And then he grabs onto a building, sliding down, and then taking Uraraka out of the rubble. Now Deku gets into class 1. Now Deku's going at home, wondering, having a good idea. Maybe he got into class 1A. Honestly, he can't remember much. But then he gets 2 letters this time. One's from class 1A, but oh my think, he got into class 1A. And that he got enough points. And the second letter is from a man named Peter Parker. Okay, I'm leaving it off there. That's part 1. I'll make sure to do part 2 next time. And again, make sure to like and subscribe. It really will help out the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. This is Animan signing off.